Yeah, I'm starting to think motherfuckers don't like the fact that I'm a motherfucking doer, man. They don't like that shit, man. I show up and I show the fuck out. They don't like that. You tell me that this can't be done, I show you that it can be done. I've been like that my whole life, man. Like, damn, every time somebody say, oh, you gotta do this before you can do that, I prove them different, man. Like, man, there's so many examples I could think of right now, man. Music, man. You gotta be signed and all this and that to release your music and shit, man. I was releasing music, man, ever since what I was 19, 20. Yeah, helping other motherfuckers release music, you know, BMI and all that shit, man. I knew about all that shit, man. Didn't know how I knew about it, but shit, some way, somehow, it's like I know. You know what I'm saying? And I also think that's another thing, man. I think I got some type of spiritual gifts, and they don't like that shit. You know. And, also, let's see. It's a lot of things. Oh, the first thing in life that I proved them wrong, and I think this is what really pissed them off. You know, I done been to college like maybe 3 or 4 times. They don't like that shit. They don't like what I took up. They don't like the fact that a young black male with no high school diploma, yeah, that's what I said. No high school diploma, and been in college 3 times. How is that? You can't go to college without a high school diploma? Yeah, that's what they told me. And since they told me that, I had to prove them wrong. I don't have a high school diploma. I don't have a GED. All I have is a certificate of completion. A certificate of completion from the Department of Juvenile Justice school system. So, you mean to tell me that you went to a government-funded alternative ed school, didn't get no GED, got a certificate of completion, and went to college? Yeah. How did you do that? How? Most colleges make you take a college placement test, and you get accepted based on that test. Now, this is where I also fucked up at, because I took the test and now I'm in their system as a motherfucking genius. You know? I scored so high on those tests that I didn't have to take no remedial classes or anything. Just my major. That's it. They don't like that. How the fuck can you score so high on a college placement test but fail the GED? That's right. Failed the GED. Not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 times. I think I failed the GED a total of 6 times, I believe. Now, the first time I took the test, I failed the test by, I think, 1 point or 2 points. It was in the math section, I believe. No, it was in the science section. It was in the science section. I needed 1 more point. And that was after they took all the points from the other subjects and carried it over to the science section. I was still short 1 point. And they couldn't take no more points from my other sections. So I had to retake the test. Not to retake the test, I had to retake the science. But at the time I took the test and got my results back, guess what happened? They changed the test. They changed it. They rewrote it and everything, meaning you got to take the whole thing over again now. Other people, all they had to do was just take the parts that they missed. Me, I had to take the whole thing over again. So I think that was like the second time I took it. That was at Orient Road, I believe. I took it there. Failed again. This time, I failed the math and the science. So now, instead of me having to just make up one section of the test, I had to do the whole test all over again. And I failed the math and I failed the science. Yeah. And once again, the numbers that I failed by was like points. I think the math was like 3 and the science was like 3 and the math was like 1 or 2, something like that. But it was like I failed by points. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let that discourage me. I was like, man, fuck this shit, man. As a matter of fact, the first time I took the test, that's when I said, fuck this shit. I went to FMU, Florida Metropolitan University. Took their college placement test, and it was over. I think 2 years later, I did it again. Went to FMU. Let's see. Then I think, did I go to ACT? No, I took the test at ACT. Never went. Never went. Once again, score so high. No remedial classes, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But something was going on. I can't remember what the hell. I couldn't start. Griffin Technical College. Yeah. Been there, done that. Same thing, scored high. And it got to the point to where they said I didn't even have to take the test no more. It's called a Wonderlink test, I believe. Or Rainbow Altitude, something like that. I can't remember. But yeah. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that I'm comfortable living the lifestyle that I live. They don't like that. I've been a drifter since I was 18. Yeah. But y'all pushed me to this point. Yeah. I like being by myself. I don't like being in confined spaces unless I'm in my car. You know, if I feel like I'm boxed in, I just don't like being boxed in. Whether that's a house, apartment, whatever, I don't like it. Especially these newer ones. I had an apartment, I think, 2 years ago. It was so fucking hot. I couldn't do this drifting shit. I was like, man, fuck this shit. When it got me an apartment. These motherfucking apartments are wired up. They're smart homes. Yeah. And the whole time I was there, I could sense my movements being recorded and everything, man. No, I don't like that. I didn't like the fact that I didn't have a key to the door. I had to push in a code or tap a card or some shit. I don't like that shit. Like that's shit that if I want it, I'll put on myself. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody got it. Now, if everybody got it, that means everybody done studied it. So they're gonna find the vulnerable. What's the word I'm looking for? They are going to find a way to exploit that motherfucker. Let's put it like that. you know. Uh, and it's just everything was controlled by your phone. If I wanted to turn on my AC or the heat, phone. Lock the door, get on my phone, click on lock. My doors were locked. I didn't like none of that shit. You know. I mostly just kicked it in my garage the whole time. You know, I'm used to being out, you know, and about. So, you know, I used to back my car up in the garage and just kick it down, make music, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then I would go inside, but for the most, I was in my car, man. That's where I feel the most comfortable at. That's why y'all always see me in my car, man. It's like my safe space, my peace, you know. All this stuff about me is what makes me a target. Because they don't like the fact that I show them they can be done. And they're worried. They're worried that I might start teaching people how to do things. You know. They worried about that. But they say each one teach one. My problem is I don't know why they worried, because motherfuckers out here don't want to learn. I done already established that, got it in my mind. Everybody just want to try to get over on everybody, and that's exactly what it is. You know, you try to take advantage of people instead of trying to come up with a way to get it yourself. Find a way for yourself. I can't be around people, man. I really can't. Like, they want me to do things that I haven't done yet. I'm not even gonna say yet, because the things that they want me to do, my mind too strong for that. Y'all can try that shit on anybody else. They probably would have been done it. But all the shit that y'all put me through, from the time I was 14, 15 till now, the average motherfucker would have been knocked theyself off. Like, real talk. They would have been knocked theyself off. Not me. You know, I'm built stronger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it bothers everybody. Everything I do, it doesn't matter what I do. It bothers people, and I don't understand. I understand why, but I don't understand why, if that makes any sense. My life has been an obstacle since, I'm not going to say since day one, because it ain't been since day one. It's been since, I ain't even going to lie, since I met my mom. I think I was 12, maybe 13. my life ain't been the same. Like, real talk. And then I say when I was 15, that's when about 14. Yeah. And I'm not saying that I'm going through all this shit because I met my mom. I'm just saying that's like a time, what they call it, like a landmark of what I remember when all the bullshit started happening. Yeah. And it's because I believe, I don't know, man. I know. But the thing about it, all right, check this out. My favorite cousin, she's no longer here, but we were close. Her dad is the most powerful man in St. Pete. My uncle, O'Malley Yeshitela. Now, I say this to say because I know for a fact that my uncle is a political target. They've been targeting him for over 30 years, if not longer. All right? Therefore, that means they have been targeting the family as well. What do you mean? I mean, anytime you are a target like that, or you a leader like that, they're not just watching you. No. They're watching your family, your friends, and then friends of your family and friends, depending on how close they are to you and other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think by me meeting my mom began the surveillance on me. All right, you're just a kid. Yeah, that's who they fear the most. It's the youth that can be trained. I don't think you heard me. It's the youth that can be trained. Look at all our past leaders. College students, fresh out of high school. Yeah. Black Panthers, motherfucking Martin Luther King, he was like, 20 something whenever he started. Yeah, you know, like, come on now. They know. And they fear. And they should. Now, I have no affiliations with my uncle other than the fact that he was married to my aunt and he's the father of my favorite cousin. Or was the father of my favorite cousin. But, and that's another story too, man, because for anybody who don't believe, let's put it like, my cousin ain't just die. I'm just gonna leave it as that. How you just wake up sick one day? Come on, man. I'm not suggesting anything, but anybody with common sense who knows the game and knows the playbook knows what the fuck happened. and can't nobody convince me otherwise. You know, these motherfuckers are dirty. They'll take away, if they can't get to you, they'll get the person closest to you. And then they'll start showing you messages too. You know, they want a nigga to be so fed up that I check out. That's what they want. I ain't checking out. You know, I started putting two and two together long time ago. Long time ago. Start questioning shit. Why is all these people moving in either next door, either across the street, but then have a connection with the other people that live next door and across the street from other people in my family and shit like that. Come on, man. I've been put this shit together. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you ain't gotta say shit. You just know. And keep it pushing. Keep it pushing to see how far it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen the people that lived across the street from my sister. I've seen the people that when she, every time she moved, I could literally tell you who the surveillance team was. I could literally tell you that because I know. I paid attention. I paid attention to my surroundings, especially when I go somewhere else and then, damn. You from Florida? Okay. I don't say nothing. I just act like it's a new face. But I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to the cars when I'm driving. I pay attention to everything. Like, I'm literally an expert in counter surveillance because of the fact that I've been doing this shit for so long. Yeah. What kills me is how people don't know that they're being watched when it's so obvious.